I've made several videos about my space clock. In 1960 or whatever, they finally held me down and tied me to a chair and drugged me. Like in 1950 or 19 something, they finally held me to a chair or tied me to a chair in Vietnam or someplace like that. Um, and on some base and somewhere, and basically drugged me like crazy, and then found out a bunch of stuff about me and everything else, who I was, what I was, all that, and tried to play me off as like an alien or something like that or whatever. It's like no. Anyway, though, um, the reason why this planet or this place is called Sol or One is because I created the sun and the earth and the other planets, or at least some of them, and then well, I created them, and then there's some help from the other life forms to do it because they wanted to create their own planets, so kind of. But anyway, I create life and stuff, and it's over 100 trillion years anyway. Because this galaxy, which is part of it, I don't know if you'd call this galaxy Sol because it's the galaxy and this planet. This is actually solar system as in one system, and then there's two system, which is the one that's going to hit us or come near us. It's supposed to do a flyby. A galaxy. It's supposed to be a universal flyby, a universe flyby where they go across, and that's basically LS space clock or whatever. I think it might be called the LS space clock, but basically I think they might be antimatter, a galaxy, but I'm not sure. Like I say, I'm not sure. I know I created one antimatter galaxy, and like I say, after 50 trillion years. Somebody was like, well, why would you even do that? It's like, well, why not? And it becomes a problem because if two galaxies actually, if a matter antimatter galaxy actually come near each other, like they're attracted to each other, they'll be pulled closer to each other. It doesn't matter how far they are apart; they will automatically be pulled closer to each other. It's like positive and negative. And I think it's just the charge that they have or something. One charge has a negative charge, the other matter has a positive charge. It's not really all that whatever. Anyway, I don't really remember. I just remember doing it. That I was creating an antimatter or negative charge galaxy. And then there's the positive charge galaxy, so which is us. And we're pulled towards each other. And theoretically we're supposed to just pass by. It's supposed to pass by us like a yo-yo effect. In theory. Anyway, I started 100 trillion years ago, so don't really know. Anyway, and then there's also the 800 other galaxies. So anyway, yeah, and that's LS space clock and LS Lucifer star, basically. That's why they're called stars, because I named them after my last name, but that was my last name anyway. So anyway, so yeah. And then Mr. Brown and Mr. Black, Harlem and Wolf, basically. Harlem and Wolf. I don't know. Basically, they wanted to do a black race takeover, which basically so only coloreds would survive or would live, and Nixon and JFK and a bunch of other people, and pretty much killing me and getting rid of me forever. Like I say, when I die, it ends like 100 trillion years of creation, inventing, and building, and doing all kinds of things. So it's rather a sad end, really, like I say, considering who I am. Creator of endoskeleton exoskeletons and 700,000 other life forms that I personally created, they say. And also my 12 favorite races or whatever, which are life forms that I created myself. So just like Earth and I mean, just like humans, and like I say, even the black people, I actually created, it's just like skin color. I created them too. People think they're like some sort of aliens or something like that. It's like, no, it's just, skin's just a wrapping. You can make it yellow or green or any color, basically, even blue. And it doesn't really matter, it's just a color or a tint. It's just how black people are just different tint and all that. It's kind of like your hair color. Your hair color can be gray or any of the colors that genetically predisposed to, but it's just genetics and stuff. It's nothing really particularly unusual, unique. It's possible gravity is just an illusion, by the way. I don't really understand how or why, but I think I said one time that gravity was actually just an illusion. It doesn't really exist, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what that meant, though. Like I say, I knew it to be true, but I didn't know why it was true. I forget. I was just like, it's something I used to know. Like I say, there's a lot of stuff about the universe that a human can't really completely truly understand. I mean, like how the particles work, how light works, how everything else works. I mean, it takes a long time, a lot of research and study, and that's why for humans and certain other life forms, I'm like, well, you're gonna have to write it all down, and you're gonna have to start making a record of your science and everything else. Otherwise, you'll never get to any real height. You have to write it in books. You have to write it in tablets or something. Otherwise, you will never get to any real technological point. I mean, you can kind of just do it by, but then, if there's an accident or if someone tries to stomp you out, all your knowledge and all your whatever, all your history is just gone. So it's like, it's better to write things down and be descriptive and get pictures and films, and that's why I've spent so much time and effort on films and photographs and everything else, is so there could be a record. Like you might say LS me Lucifer Star was the start of real record keeping, but who knows? I mean, lots of other races probably keep records and all that other stuff. I was just a little more fussy about it because I do such great things. You know, I do like the Panama Canal, the Titanic, Earth, suns, and I just am like this epic creator. So, and always was. Just like black people thought that they could just come in and kill off my tribe or kill off my people, which it's like, oh, Germany, Italy, Mexico, America, you know, that's my tribe, basically. A bunch of people living together, even blacks to some extent, although apparently, like I said, Mr. Brown was like, yeah, just straight down to the ground. And basically thought of just using guns and power or whatever to basically, and then, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to kidnap like Michael Jackson's father and put him through a lie detector test. He probably knows lots of very nasty, horrible things. I don't know. Yeah, I heard that he was a really bad guy. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he was a really nice person though. I mean, if you believe the rumors, which there are, and considering how hard the black people have fought to keep any bad rumors from ever being known, like it's probably mostly like Michael Jackson's father and people like that. So, and Mr. Brown, Mr. Black, Papa, all of them. So anyway, but that's what the black people were doing. They're doing this whole thing by themselves. So anyway, but realistically, it was just one guy just making himself, you know, being like, we have to stick together, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, I was always sticking together with all my races, and technically, blacks were my race, so anyway. And they're like, and the blacks really do the whole, like, you know, just like, I guess it's easier to be racist when you're black and every other race is like a different color. Like there's Jewish, I mean, there's British, German, Irish, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, and what they're basically the same, but there's also Indonesian or India, and then there's also the American Indians. So like, there's a lot of different groups, especially with America. There's a lot of groups in America. So anyway, most of them are connected to me, LS, or I've been helped by me. So that's why they're in my country. Otherwise, they would have been shot at the border. Who are you? Like I say, and back in the day, there was a lot of paranoia going around. But I think it's mostly the black people that were causing a problem. Like I say, they would go in and then they would start destroying. You know, it's basically a motif of basically Mr. Brown and Papa. It's basically go in, steal as much as you can, and then get out. In the cover of darkness. Like that's why they actually wanted to be black, was so they could sneak around in the dark. But you know, we have light intensification and infrared, so it kind of like very quickly being black really became outdated. For a while there, maybe they were a little bit better, but after a little bit, it's just like, okay, you're just walking across the field now. We see you. Your blackness doesn't help anymore. It's the future.